PNC, America's Black News Channel. Watch us on all major cable providers and major streaming platforms. Finally, news that speaks to us.
Joining me now to discuss is retired California Superior Court Judge LaDoris Cordell. She's also the author of Her Honor, My Life on the Bench, What Works, What's Broken, and How to Change It. Welcome back to Amplified, Judge Cordell. So I want to start off by asking you, what is your top impression from the last 2 days, and how would you characterize Judge Brown Jackson's presentation?
I'll start off by saying her presentation was absolutely the best. She took the high road. She demonstrated that she has restraint. She's got the right demeanor. And so looking at the hearings overall, I would say the lowest point was the questioning by the conservatives, the Republicans, who clearly don't want her to sit on the court. The lowest of the low was the disrespectful, insulting, questioning, make that lecturing by Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz. The highest point, I think, happened today when Judge Brown Jackson broke down a little. She got teary when she was answering a question posed by California Senator Padilla. And her response in talking about the struggle of just breaking through, of doing things that Black women have never done before, just was the embodiment of what I think every Black woman in this country has experienced at some level. That is just thinking, I've got so much resistance. Am I legitimately here? I certainly had that feeling when I arrived at Stanford Law School, the only Black woman in my law school class. And she just really, and her story at the end about how a random Black woman passed her on the Harvard campus and just leaned over to her and said the word persevere. It was just, that was the moment, the highest moment, I think, in this entire confirmation hearing.
Oh, I got chills when she recounted that story. I think so many of us Black women have had that experience, and I would hope that we've also given that experience to other Black women who clearly, just needed a kind word and makes you kind of lift your head up a little bit higher. It was nice to see that she had some opportunity to kind of breathe and to emote and to share some of the positive aspects of her life, because she's been very cool through these hearings, despite the fact that the propaganda machine is chugging along. And the GOP is coming at her in every direction of crazy and trying to distort her record, coming at her about CRT, which has nothing to do, frankly, with anything. I wonder, you've been in these kind of pressure cooker situations for cases like this. What is the best tact for actually dealing with this kind of assault as you're trying to stay composed?
Her testimony before this confirmation hearing is the best teaching lesson, the best lesson one could ever have about how to deal with people who are race baiting, who are disrespectful, who are insulting. If you notice, the first thing she said to every senator, and specifically to all the senators who were distorting her record, who are raising critical race theory that has nothing to do with her qualifications to be on the court, the first thing she said to all of them, each of them, was, "Thank you, Senator." And then she'd take a breath and then give a response, a very reasoned, intelligent response. And so that's just the best lesson we can all take. When you're in a situation where you're being attacked, when you know it's not fair, it's being distorted, stay calm, be respectful, and then give the answer, which she did to every one of them and did it beautifully. So it's really a teaching moment for all of us when you're in these kinds of pressure cooker situations. She just handled it beautifully.
Judge, though, I mean, as humans, and as a Black woman myself, and a lesbian who's been in some real crazy situations, how unfortunately unfair is it that we have to be more dignified, that we have to have more poise, that we have to steel ourselves in a way that smiles through the indignities of the way that people treat us, especially when we're more qualified than them, smarter than them? I can imagine inside what she might have been feeling. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Aisha, this is America. And America is based on, if we just look at the law, legal principles that were created by propertied white men, some of whom owned people who looked like you and me. They didn't intend these principles to apply to women, to people of color, to poor people. So yes, given that the system was set up in such a race-based way, it is just paramount. My mother said the same to me, and I'm sure your parents said to you, you have to be better than those who've come before, and you've got to always be prepared. I'll tell you, I was running scared the first couple of years that I was on the bench, the first Black woman judge in all of Northern California. And I knew that I didn't want to let anyone down, especially communities that were looking to make sure that I would succeed. So it's about being prepared. But, you know, it's something we just have to deal with living in America. Sadly, and maybe one day, but I don't think it's in our lifetimes, maybe that will change and we won't, those expectations of us having to be better than everyone else, maybe we won't have those before us in this country. But it's going to be a while.
Judge LaDoris Cordell, I want to continue this conversation with you. I have to take a quick break, though, so sit tight with me. Y'all keep it right here. This is Amplified on BNC. We'll be right back. I'm back now with Judge LaDoris Cordell. We're reacting to what we've seen so far in the confirmation hearing of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to be the first Black woman on the Supreme Court. I actually want to talk a little bit about some of the substance. I say that with a little bit of an eye roll over here. Coming out of Ted Cruz's mouth, he blew up a version of a quote from the judge's time on the Sentencing Commission, where she was the vice chair. And it's interesting because he was trying to use her own words against her, and then, you know, it was a little out of context. Watch this. I think we might have a clip from that. Do we have a clip? Well, let's we don't actually have the sound of this, but I wanted to get your reactions to Ted Cruz's entire line of questioning here. He brought out his big billboards to try to attack her on the sentences that she's actually handed down in particular, and then to use her own words against her. What were your reactions to that, and what was, you know, the context that he presented, and do you feel like it was fair or not?
Yeah, so first let me go to the board he had. He took a quote and asserted that this is what she'd said. And indeed, she had said it, but she posed it as a question to the people on the commission. He didn't do that. So, you know, so much for Ted Cruz. But let me just say this. The best evidence you can ever have of how well a person is doing in these confirmation hearings, the judge is doing, is by the focus, looking at the focus of the questions of people who don't want her to be on the Supreme Court. Because the questions they were asking were irrelevant, they were taking out of context, and they were lacking in substance. So when you look at all of that, they didn't have a case to make. So they began making up things. And that's exactly what he did. Now, how ridiculous is it to have a state senator put up a big board of a picture, a children's picture book, and saying, see, this means she shouldn't be on the Supreme Court. That's absurd. It was a joke. And it really turned this into, in my view, a clown show for Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham. There was no substance to any of this. And I will tell you, her thought bubble, Judge Brown Jackson's thought bubble, must have been going crazy. And a couple of times I could just see in her eyes where she took a deep breath and said, seriously? I mean, you could just, but you know, her composure was just terrific. But I think all of us, people were, I've heard my friends have said they were yelling at the TV, listening to these ridiculous and insulting questions. So it is done. This confirmation hearing was political theater, and the politics were just put on display by the Republicans. And I think they should all, to a person, be embarrassed by how they conducted themselves these last few days.
Well, the reality is that they're actually fundraising off of their foolishness. A couple of these Republicans who went in on her want to be president of the United States. They plan on running. And so they're certainly misconstruing her record, putting up billboards out of context, like you said, trying to, what they did there is they tried to suggest that her asking a question was her actually offering an opinion, which wasn't exactly that at all. And I do appreciate her demeanor as she set the record straight. At one point today, she said, look, I've said all that I'm going to say about those cases. I said what I said, but she said it, of course, in a way that was kinder, more gentler than I would offer that. I want to ask you about the criticisms that Republicans have had about her being a public defender in federal cases, because that has been one of the things that so many of us, have been cheerleading, the fact that there has not been someone who's been a public defender on the court. So what is your take on the way that they've attacked her about it?
Well, it's absurd. First of all, they have no respect for public defenders. That's clear. And most judges, state and federal, have been former prosecutors. So it is a rarity to have a public defender just to be on the bench, let alone be on the Supreme Court. They demonstrated that they have no understanding really about how the criminal legal system works and how the accused have a right to be represented, to have due process, a right to a jury trial. I think we're up to most of them. They would say, no jury trials, no trials at all. If you're accused, that's enough. The prosecutor said it, just lock everybody up. So this was a good education, if they were willing to listen to her as she explained what it is public defenders do. It is a noble profession. And when I was on the bench, I loved having public defenders in my court. And I will tell you something, to be a public defender takes a lot of courage because they lose most of the time. Most of the time, their clients get convicted, but they make the system stand up and uphold the principles on which the legal system is based. That's really the purpose of the public defenders. So I'm just so glad that she has this background. And finally, let me just say that given all of the things that have been thrown out at her by the Republicans, the bottom line is she's going to win. She's going to be on the U.S. Supreme Court, and she's going to be there as a lifetime appointment.
And to that point, I mean, it does seem like the Dems have the votes and that they don't need the Republicans in order to move her onto the Supreme Court. So what do you think that the GOP members of the committee's ultimate goal has been here then, since she's likely going to be confirmed? Where are they going with this questioning?
Sure. Their goal is simply to appeal to their base, to their QAnon conspiracy people. They have been obsessed with child porn. I have never seen anything like this. All of their questions, they focused on 5 of her cases. I know, out of 750 cases, that's 0.6% of 1% of her cases, and it's all about child porn. They're obsessed. So there's something wrong with that. So a lot of it is fundraising, appealing to their base, and the rest is they know that she's going to be on there, and they're just tearing down a black woman. No surprise to me, and I'm sure to you or many others, and she will prevail, and she will persevere.
It's so interesting that they are obsessed with this whole child porn thing and going in on her about it when Brett Kavanaugh was actually accused of sexual assault by like multiple people, and they didn't want to investigate that. They didn't want to talk about it, right? But they're going in on these, a handful of cases. Clearly, there's some ulterior motive going on here. I just wanted to get your, kind of final thoughts as where we are today. This is an exciting time for me to be able to cover and follow. For you, who's actually sat on the bench for some time, tell me how you're feeling about it all.
I say to you, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. She carried herself beautifully. There were so many people, as I think it was Senator Ossoff said, there are millions of people who are supportive of this woman and have watched how she has handled herself. So this is huge in the history of the legal system of this country, in the history of the Supreme Court. And she has done well, and she has made us proud. So I can't wait for this vote. And my only prayer now is that all of the Democrats will come together to vote. And by that, I mean the couple of Democrats who have been waffling on a lot of issues, they have to be together. And I absolutely believe she will be sitting on the U.S. Supreme Court. And my hope is that decades on, she will end up becoming the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court.